I did. I'm absolutely buzzing about that. I don't care what happens for the rest of the regatta, I'm happy. Because I can't see the start line, I basically wait for everybody else to start, and then in this particular case it was smart to go out on port for a little bit and then come across on starboard, and it just sort of all went right. Even though I was very late for the start, at least I was in clear air and off I went. And when I got to the first top mark, like for starters there was nobody around me, and it was like, oh, what have I done wrong? And I was looking over my shoulder and the boats were there. So I just carried on, and I ended up, I think it was about 4th around the top mark the first time. And then we reached across and I was still in 4th. And then we got to the bottom mark and I was still in 4th, and it was amazing. And then on the second beat, I actually lost track of where everybody was. So all I did was sail my boat as fast and as high as I could. When I got to there, I was still in 4th, so it was just amazing. We call them audio buoys or sound buoys. We got the idea from an Italian design. I went to a blind match racing regatta in Italy in 2006, and they had audio buoys, but they just beat continuously. When we came back to New Zealand, I started trying to get someone to develop it so that I could use that thing for club racing and for any other racing. My husband, he picked it up and ran with it, and he has now developed so that we can have different noises for different marks, and we've actually got, I think it's 8 audio buoys here for this regatta. I'm absolutely thrilled. Here in Australia, it has been fully embraced here by Royal Prince Alfred, and they've done their absolute best to accommodate, and I think everyone's seeing what the benefits are of having it, not only for vision impaired sailors but for people with different disabilities as well.
Oh my gosh, I have never sailed against 75 boats in my life, and so it really is fun to get, like on shore, you're like, hi, 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 but then on the start, you're like, you've got to make your lane because there's only so much room, and it's pretty neat. And what's really fun too is normally you're sailing a number, but on the start line here, you're calling countries up, and it's kind of a neat feeling when there's like 17 countries out there, and that's who you call up. You don't actually even call up a number. I'm the one and only Canadian here. Lots of people are here with a bunch of people from their country, but the Australians have just enveloped me as a sister, as you say, and it is really, really heartwarming. It's blown my mind at the generosity and the kindness and the rigor that people have done for me to get me ready and be rigged, for example. It's out of this world. I love that once you're in that boat, everybody's pretty much on an equal playing field. I mean, it's a bit tricky because I'm no hands, and even people using wheelchair have their hands, and there's a jib, and so there's jib sheets, whereas the Liberty is the self-tacking, and there's a main sheet, and in the Liberty you can get an automatic main tool that's called a servo, but in the 303 there isn't really an everyday practice of having a servo, an automatic main sheeter. So everything's manual in the 303 single, but essentially, despite the fact that I'm the one sailor without hands, they are level playing field. And when you think I'm pretty new to the 303 fleet, right? I've had 6 days in this boat, and I got 12th out of 75 on the first race, and 20 out of 75 on the second race. So even though I'm manually doing things, I'm still competitive in this 303 single, which I love, right? It's about, can you read the wind? Can you read your sails? Do you adjust? It's not about the disability, it's about your sailing ability.